Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Liverpool Women's Podcast. This is episode 58.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. We think so. I don't know. Someone will tell us, or we'll change it on the thing. Who knows?
We'll just do a voiceover.
Yeah. Yeah. Kick off question then, please, Amy.
So this is just... Okay.
It's not Patrick Westmore 1.
Okay, it's just Patrick Westmore, okay. Patrick's question is, a great video, don't know which one it was talking about, probably none of them. Have Phil Neville's England team gone backwards since the World Cup? Also, should Phil Neville be sacked? Oh, wow.
Did you see the rumours the other week that Phil Neville was in line for the USA women's job? And I was like, nah, he's not though. He's just not though.
I couldn't see him doing that.
No. I don't think they've necessarily gone backwards. Because
I mean, they've lost every game since they finished.
Yeah, but like there hasn't been. It's not like they haven't been competitive games. You know what I mean? They've just been like friendlies and stuff like that. So like you're not really bothered about them losing.
I feel like that losing the semi-final was a confidence knock, and they're still
Yeah. Did you see Ellen White did that BT, the fella from BT does like the videos with the shirts, like the classic shirts.
Okay.
And Ellen White did one, and like he gets the USA shirt out, and she was like no.
Really?
She was like, yeah, she went, I wish that goal would have stood so much. You know, where a big toe was literally offside. She was like, I wish that goal would have stood so much.
Imagine, like, we could be sat here, like, saying, like, have England gone forwards?
I know. I don't think, it's hard to say they've gone backwards. I don't think he should be sacked. I mean, he hasn't done...
It's a bit dramatic.
He hasn't done that bad of a job. I think he should give different players more opportunities.
Yeah.
Because he just
Williamson for one.
Yeah, like he just plays Steph Horton and Millie Bright as the centre-back pair in every single game, and it's like, give someone else a chance.
I feel like Millie Bright makes too many mistakes for my liking.
Yeah.
Especially recently. Like, for Chelsea, she's like, bang on.
Yeah, but when it comes to England...
I'm just like, maybe it's nerves. I don't even know.
I don't know. And stop playing Lucy Bronze in midfield, because it does me, I don't know.
Everyone hates that.
Like,
but he does it anyways.
But why are you doing it? Because no need. You've got so many other midfielders you can play or call up to the squad that can fill that position, and you play Lucy Bronze, who's a right back. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But to answer your question, no, I don't think he should be sacked. And they haven't necessarily gone backwards, but, you know, things could be better. Would you agree?
We'll see in the next... When is the next England game? Oh,
November.
Or is it Middlesbrough?
Oh, which one's first?
Ooh.
I don't know.
I think there's one in October.
And then there's one at Wembley, isn't there?
The Wembley one's November, so I think there's one in October.
Yeah, I don't know who's it against. I don't know.
Brazil.
Okay, here we go. Someone's on the ball. Okay, WSL action then. Obviously, Liverpool played on Sunday. Got beat 1-0 again.
I'm sick of these 1-0s.
I'm sick of it being like free kicks and penalties already. First game is a free kick. Second game is a penalty. Like, why? Why set pieces all the time? But yeah.
That means we need to get better at set piece defending.
A penalty in injury time of the first half, so Rachel Furness converted that. Good pen.
I actually think it was a penalty, but it's one of them, like, if you're contacting someone in the box and they go down 9 times out of 10 without VAR, they're going to give it.
It's literally like just two players just like...
I think it was made look worse, the fact that it was Rachel Furness and then Fi and Jane.
Yeah.
So that it was kind of like 2 against 1. I think it made it look worse than it actually was.
Yeah. Obviously,
but
go on.
It was a goal in the end of the day. There's nothing you can do about it. Decisions go your way. I think a lot of decisions didn't go our way during the game, to be honest. Like, some of the decisions the ref made, I was like, okay, yeah. Okay, that's a foul. I can take that, but then I don't think it was a red card.
I feel like there was some fouls on us that didn't get called, and I'm like...
Mel Lawley got fouled so much.
She's on the floor so much.
Honestly.
Like, every single game. But, I was going to say something and I forgot.
What do you think about the Fahy red card?
I knew it was going to be a red card once I feel
like that's a yellow. Like, surely that's a yellow.
Because she was the last player, so... She pulls her back, so like...
Well, I accidentally said in my post-match that it was a second yellow. I apologise, it was a straight red card, my bad. Because I was just genuinely like, I don't think that's a red card, so I just kind of assumed it was a second yellow.
Yeah.
But I was just like, that's the last thing we needed.
She did say to the ref, I think she was saying that, like, Bradley Auckland's, like, covering, she was like, she's there, because, like, I personally, I don't see the reason that she had to do the foul. Bradley Hawkins charging back, and plus the girl's still got to get past Price as well.
I feel like
She's
you
still
make
gotta
the
score.
tackle more than... Because she was sort of on, like, line with her. Surely you'd, like, just do, like, a bit of a side tackle rather than pull her back.
Like, yeah, I don't know. But, like...
I think it was very unlucky.
It was unlucky, but, like, just don't pull her back if you, like, do you know what I mean? Like, unless it was, like... if it was closer to the area, I'd understand.
I think Price is
wasn't.
a good shot stopper as well.
Yeah.
So even if it potentially did go right to her, I would have faith in Price doing like the magnificent and saving it. If that makes sense. It might happen. It might not happen every single time. Like fair enough.
Yeah.
But I'm just a bit gutted about that because then you go into this next game. Oh no, she can play in the cup, can't she?
She can play in the cup, yeah.
But United, she's not going to be playing. So that's where you're like, does Robe then go into centre? Well, obviously, we'll talk about this on the build-up. But then does Robe go into centre-back or...
She'll have to, won't she? Who else is going to play there? Unless you put Amy Rogers or G. Bailey there. But
I wouldn't put Amy Rogers in centre-back. I don't think
you're going to have to put Robe there and then put Perfield left-back.
Things I really think we missed Perfield these last 2 games. Like,
She
I don't
needs
know
to
who
play.
I'd change because I enjoy Becky Jane on the as a wing-back, but I don't know who I'd change.
Maybe you do take Robe out then for the game.
But then who goes centre-back?
No, for like...
Oh, for like normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that for that game, Robe will have to go centre-back.
See, this is where you're like, I kind of wish we'd signed a centre-half in the summer. Because, like, now, I do think you lose something when you take Robe off wing-back. Because she's such, like, a strong tackler. I think you lose that, like, athleticism on that side. Like, no disrespect to Perfield, because she could probably do the job just as good. But I feel like you've got a bit more, like, grit and kind of... I think Robe's better with her feet, getting round players, and Perfield's quicker in getting back. But I feel like you lose something when you take Robe off the side. So when she has to come into the middle, that's where you're like, okay, you've got a centre back on the bench, perfectly good. Maybe who's not got a lot of WSL experience, but is like a predominant centre back that you just put in for cup games and for games where this happens. Because one injury, we're in the same position. One red card, as what happened, we're in the same position.
Can Becky Jane play centre back?
I think she can.
Okay.
But I wouldn't want her to.
No, that's true.
Because I think she provides quite a lot going forward.
Well, you've got, for the United game, then we're looking ahead a little bit too far, but like, you've got Robe, you've got Jane.
But if someone gets injured at Sheffield, for example, that's when you've got a problem.
Yeah. Well, back to the Spurs game then. If you were to pick one player who stood out for you thought could create some chances for us, who was it?
I think it's between Mel Lawley and Price. Okay. I think Price pulled off quite a few, like, especially in the first half, the saves that she pulled off.
Could win about 4-0, could
Yeah, exactly. And the second half as well, actually. I think she was just unlucky with the penalty. But it's difficult because I don't think our problem is necessarily defending. I think the problem is we're not scoring enough goals.
Well, we haven't scored any.
Exactly, and we're 2 games in now. Like, in 2 weeks' time, we'll have played 4 games, and if we've still not scored a goal or even picked up a win, that's when you're like, okay, this is a bit of a problem now. Because I don't think Sheffield's going to be an easy game in any way, shape or form, because they're flying at the moment. I think they've got 3 wins from 3, I want to say. 2 or 3. But I'm a bit like, where are the goals going to come from? Because it doesn't look like they're really coming from anywhere at the moment. That's my only worry.
Yeah. Sweetman Kirk doesn't look like half the player she was last season.
She just doesn't look very sharp.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether that's because like a bit of summer hangover or something like that.
I reckon you play Babajide up front.
Yeah,
on
she
Sunday.
was good when she came on, to be fair.
She's quick. She can hold the ball up. Just a different option.
Yeah.
I don't know what you do.
But I'd probably say Mel Lawley, you know. I think she covered every single blade of grass. Blade of grass, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Okay. On that game.
Yeah.
I just enjoy watching her. She kind of like skips through players and you're like, wow, that's cool.
You're like, oh my God, Mel Lawley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, looking at the league table then, very surprising to be honest. Everton sit top with 6 points. They've got 2 wins from 2. And then...
That's mad.
Us.
Like Sarah's going to be buzzing.
Yeah. Us, Man United and Birmingham are all level at the bottom with 0 points. Like Man United, like they've had 2 tough first games, to be fair.
And to be honest, they could have picked up points from both of them.
Man City and Arsenal, like they were both 1-0 defeats as well. Like,
tell you who I'm quite disappointed with, Chelsea.
I haven't really paid much attention, to be honest.
Well, they
the first game, it was like a better.
It was
England,
a one,
like won the goal, wasn't it?
But they're not really scoring many goals.
No.
Maybe Fran Kirby's out at the moment, isn't she? So maybe
What's
that's
wrong with her?
I don't know. I feel like it's a
She's
name
very injury prone, isn't
at
she?
the
now?
moment, yeah.
Which is really sad.
Everton though.
Everton though, I know. Chloe Kelly absolutely won the
Tell you
goals
what,
yesterday.
they've actually got a really good good team.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, the goals were mad.
Yeah, their team actually is decent. Like,
Yeah.
who did they buy from Bristol in the summer?
Lucy Graham.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
such a
good in
footballer,
midfield, isn't she?
Even like their defence with Gabby George.
Yeah, 'cause she's
It's
back now,
exciting,
isn't she?
yeah.
Yeah. They are gonna be. They're gonna do so much better this season.
I think
than
they're
they did
going to
last
finish mid to top table.
year. Do you reckon? Well,
It's hard to tell at this
me
stage.
and you
to be
said
fair.
we'd finish 5th or 6th.
Or 11th.
We're not on course at the minute.
You know what? It's fine. You can turn things around.
It's okay. Yeah, it's fine.
But
so-
my question is like, what are we actually doing wrong? What are Liverpool doing wrong to
don't-
not win these games?
I don't think we're doing anything in particular wrong. I think it's just that, like, we have been unlucky with the goals we've conceded, like two set
Yeah.
pieces. Like, that's unfortunate. And we have, like, especially against Reading, we did create a lot of chances. It's just that final,
It's the clinicalness, I
that
think.
final piece, like, just someone putting the ball in the back of the net. It's just not happening at the minute.
What I quite enjoyed against Spurs is that we were taking quite long range shots, and I feel like we
Amy
didn't do
Rodgers
that.
with those 2
I
shots.
know.
I was like, who's that?
Crazy. I feel like we didn't do that enough last season when we had the opportunity. We always looked a bit like, oh, I'm a bit scared to
Yeah,
kind of
you
do it in
always
case
try-
I don't do it right, if that makes sense. But I think Jepson's been like, you know what? Do it.
Just
If
have
the
a go.
space open up, have a go. If at least then that counts as like a chance on target, and you building confidence off of that.
Yeah.
But I quite enjoyed the fact they were doing that, because I feel like sometimes what we do wrong, well, not necessarily wrong, but what we try and do too much is like play the ball into the back of the net.
Yeah.
And it's got to be that perfect goal.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes you just want a scrappy goal to get you 1-0 up
Yeah.
or 2-0 up to kind of then progress through the game.
Well, Laura Coombs was the girl to do that last season, wasn't she? She wasn't bothered to have a shot.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's just a
outside the area.
confidence thing. Just
Yeah.
just do
Don't
it.
forget, we have Christy Money to come back as well.
I know,
who
buzzing.
can create opportunities as well. So, like, I mean, I'm not saying
She's
it's all
such a
on
machine,
it's all
isn't
on
she?
her shoulders, but like,
Yeah.
it's another option for us.
Well, and if Roberts comes back as well, that provides another
Centre back.
I don't know if she plays centre back.
She played left back a couple of times last season, didn't she? So, I mean,
She can play. I think she can play.
They can't be that different positions, really.
I mean, they are.
You never know.
What do you make of Spurs though, up in 6? I mean, I know they've only won 1 game, and it's so like early on in the season to be like, oh, they're going to do really well.
I think they have done really well.
I think they have as well.
Like,
They've signed some really good players,
to
experienced players,
to only hold Chelsea to 1-0
and then beat us.
and then beat us is actually like really good. Like, I think you said that you was like, I have a feeling that they won't be very good this season.
No one listened to me ever.
Well, you know, it's only 2 games in, but yeah, they did really well, and like, especially, you know, on Sunday it was difficult for us because that was their first home game in top flight football in the women's leagues. Like, they were going to be right up for it from the get go, and like, you could see the crowd were right behind them and stuff like that. Like, they were quite loud as well, so it was always going to be difficult. But yeah, they recruited well in the summer and stuff like that. Like, they've really, like, you know, gone, okay, we need to get our act together now. We've got into the top tier. Like, we need to like really go for it.
They look like they've got quite a big of a fan base as well. When you see, because I think we both watched it on the app.
Yeah.
The crowd was kind of sat like underneath where the camera was, but like if certain angles when it panned to like the corner or something, there was quite a lot of people, and I think that's so important to kind of build the fan base. I think it's just then it kind of makes the club a bit more exciting and gets people buzzing a bit. I think that's what we're trying to do, especially getting more people down. I think the first home game of the season was great.
Nearly 1,400 people. Was
there you go, yeah. I wanted to ask you about attendances, actually. In terms of, do you think the World Cup's done the job it should have done? Or do you think there could be more?
I think it's definitely done its job. I think England getting to the semi-finals has definitely, you know, boosted.
The media coverage in general as well, yeah.
And, like, it was the same in 2015 when we got to the semi-finals as well. Like, attendance and, like, media and stuff like that really, really increased. But then I don't want it to get to a stage where, like, it's only like that for the first 12 weeks and then it just drops off and the rest of the season no one's bothered. Like, I don't want people just to jump on the bandwagon of it just for a couple of weeks and then be like, no, I'm not really that interested.
Do you think that's the club's responsibility then, to keep them coming? I mean, I guess it's down to the individuals as well.
Yeah.
But is it down to the club as well?
It's down to, like, team performance, isn't it?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if, like, say, for example, we continue to lose our next 4 or 5 games, people aren't going to want to go because they're just automatically going to think that we're going to get beat. But then also...
But ultimately, you can't just be there for the good times. So
you've got to support them.
I think it depends on what kind of person you are in terms of if you can, like, stand to... Not stand, but it's one of them, you've got to be really, really passionate about it to keep turning up week in, week out. And I think that's right. I think that's why City and Arsenal have such good attendances in that way, because they're winning things and they're performing well.
Yeah.
And United as well, like...
They have a big fan base, United.
Exactly. All of the teams that's what surprises me about us, though. Like, we do have a fan base, but we're as big as those clubs in terms of Premier League, and you kind of find that the teams that have a Premier League, like, they're like a sister club to the Premier League, tend to have more fans because the fan base of those Premier League clubs in general are bigger. But I feel like for us, it's not really the same.
It doesn't feel the same, does it?
I don't think it does.
Which is weird. I have noticed that and had that thought myself, which is, like, we're also in terms of, like, not just like you talk about, like, Premier League and, like, same level and stuff like that. Like, we're, like, really high in WSL as well. Like, I've said it before, but it was only 4 seasons ago that we won back-to-back titles. Yeah. Like, it's realistically, it's not that long ago. So, like...
It feels like it.
Right now it feels like it, but, like, realistically it's not. It's only, like, 5 years. Like, where we are then to where we are now is completely different squad. But, like...
It's still under the same name.
It's still under the same name, so, like...
You can't just stop supporting...
Exactly, yeah. Like, don't just leave because you're having a bad season and then, like, come back if, you know, in 3 weeks' time we've won every game since and we've climbed up the table.
Like, we won't lie, it was difficult last season to keep going and, like, making content or whatever when we were losing. Like, we used to film the vlog and then we would only ever put it out if we won. So we ended up with, like, only 4 or 5 vlogs last season. But, like, I don't think I'd ever then go, oh, I don't want to go anymore.
If me and you turned around and was like, oh, we don't really want to go this weekend, then, like...
I'd feel so guilty.
Yeah. Like, I'd feel like I was missing out as well. Because it doesn't take long to get there. It's not expensive to go either. And, like, it's nice to just go and watch football. Like,
what else are you going to be doing realistically on a Sunday?
For those 2 hours on a Sunday, what else are you going to do?
I mean, when it's cold at night, that's a different question. We still go, but it's absolutely freezing. So if anyone wants to go during the winter, make sure you wear about 10 layers.
Yeah.
I think we had a competition once of how many layers each of us were wearing.
Get, like, feet warmers as well.
Gloves, the whole
because, like, your feet will freeze.
Yeah.
And, like, there was plenty of times I drove home last season.
We had to wait in the car for your feet to warm up.
Yeah, but, like, most of the time they were just ice cold. And I was like, I couldn't feel it. And I was like, this is not safe.
Were you with me that one time I got the bus home and it was really icy through the tunnel? And then out, and I was...
You must have gone on your own.
It was, like... The bus was literally, like, swaying, and I was like... And it was, like, a double... I was on the top as well, so I'm like, if we fall over, I'm absolutely screwed.
Also, the whole palaver with the tunnels... Because that bridge is coming down in town.
What?
So you know when I pick you up from yours, and I go left there, across that road, and then I go left to go around that little roundabout, and there's that bridge.
Yeah.
That's getting knocked down.
So you can't go through the tunnel.
So you can't go. You can go that. You can go. Oh, Hannah went round the roundabout the other day, so you can go into the tunnel that way, but you can't come back out that way.
So what tunnel can you use? The one that's, like, further down?
I think it's Kingsway. I went through that one last week.
Was it fun?
It was fun.
Okay.
I'd never been through it before, so I was like, oh. It was quite big as well, whereas, like, the other one's quite small, and the cars are coming that
There
way
you
as
go.
well,
It's
aren't
a fun day
they?
out. You get to go through tunnels.
Well, the cars are coming that way through Queensway, aren't they, as well?
Oh,
But
yeah.
it was just everyone was going that way.
Heavy.
It was very busy coming back though, because it was the only tunnel that was open
can
that
imagine.
day. It was shocker. But you know, fun times. You literally just come the other way to Burton Park. It's fine. But yeah, that's gonna be a nightmare because that's.
But still go.
But still go. There's an alternative. Go through Kingsway. Like, it's not that bad. You can go through. You can go into Queensway and go.
Or you can get the train.
Way. Get the train. The bus.
Bit of a
The
walk,
bus will
but
still
yeah.
go through the tunnel. It'll just come a different way back.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not that bad.
Cool.
Do you want to talk about this story then? Because you know a little bit more
Okay.
about it than me.
I just want to talk about it because I think there's obviously two sides to every story.
Yeah.
But I just want to talk about it. So I feel like a lot of you probably will have heard about this. It's been a lot all over like social media, on the news, on BBC, everywhere like that. And it's about Gemma Bryan, who plays or did play. I think she's not contracted anymore for Crystal Palace, who are in the equivalent to the Championship WSL 2. And she's come out and been very vocal about the fact that she's not happy with the support that she's receiving from Crystal Palace because back in April, I believe it is, she tore her ACL. And obviously the season finishes May, June. And the club only covered one scan, the initial scan to see if it had been torn, initial MRI scan, which I think was actually funded by the men's team, it says online, which is interesting in itself because it didn't actually come out the money from the women's team, which is weird. And then since then, I don't think she's contracted with them anymore, and she isn't receiving any medical care. She had to put on a waiting list for the operation or pay for it herself. I believe to this date she's still not had it done, and that's however many months it is now, a fair few. I'll read kind of what the article's written. It says, the 32-year-old says she's had no medical support from the women's champions side. Crystal Palace deny this. So there you go, two sides to every single story. New rules this season have meant that the top tier get health insurance funding, but the second tier doesn't, and below that obviously doesn't as well. And she says, and the quotes that she's actually said is, she's been hung out to dry, got left in limbo, and she can only just carry out her job, which is a personal trainer. So you need your knees to be able to do that, basically. So I think that's horrendous.
It's a bit bizarre as well, isn't it? Like, if it happened in April and she was under contract till May, then surely something else could have been done within that time period other than just an initial scan. Like, because you see football players get tear their ACLs or whatever now, and within, like, the first 3 or 4 days, the op's
Danielle
done.
Carter, for example, she had one, I think, 1 or 2 weeks after.
Like, the op's done, and it's like, wow, that was quick. But, like, to only have one initial scan to be like, oh, yeah, it is your ACL, to then go the rest of, like, April all through May where she's still under contract and nothing's happened is weird. But then, like, Crystal Palace denying it. Like,
but then why would she lie?
Exactly.
That's the thing. If they'd given her full insurance for the procedure, why would she then come out and say, no, they haven't?
No, they haven't.
Because then she's got what she's wanted if she's gotten the operation under healthcare.
Yeah, there's no reason for her to lie because if it would have
been fixed.
Yeah, exactly.
The only thing that maybe would be up to her would be then the physio side of things, because that's like a 9-month process. It's not just within the month that she's still contracted.
Like, fair enough. If she's out of contract, then it's like.
But like, if she wasn't injured, she may have then signed a new contract. So then she's staying there for longer
or whatever. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's, as I said, like, obviously Crystal Palace have their reasons why they've denied it, and she's had their reasons why she's saying it has happened. But I feel like something like that's an injury that, because of what her profession is, being a personal trainer, that could then affect her making her own money or making the next living after she's retired from football. So I think it's so important.
She's 32 as well. So if her ACL's not getting fixed anytime soon, if she's on a waiting list for the NHS, like, it's not gonna be ages, but it's gonna be a couple of weeks at least more.
You never know, yeah. Depends where it is.
Yeah, exactly. So that means from the process of getting the op to recovery is like a long period. It's like 9 months or something like that. Yeah, exactly, a year. Like, she's probably not going to play football professionally again. I mean, depending on how it goes, but like,
some people recover quicker than others,
exactly.
all that sort of thing.
But then also, if she's a personal trainer, that affects her everyday job life as well now. So like, it's hard because you don't know exactly
the full
what's
details,
going on.
do you?
But like, if it is true that like, they've literally only gave her one scan and then gone, oh no, sort yourself out. Like, that's not really fair.
Well, one of the quotes was she's not been like rang up and to see if you're all right, okay. Things like that. And whether you're out of contract or not, I feel like you've still been a part of that club, and I think she's contributed so much to them. Yeah. So it's like, I just think all teams should have some sort of healthcare.
So this season,
whether you're in the top tier or not.
So this season's the first one where like it's fully covered. So Ashley Hodgson did ACL not last season, the season before. Mm-hmm. Did Liverpool fully fund that?
I presume because she was in rehab with like Liverpool staff.
Yeah.
I presume unless she's got her own sort of medical private healthcare thing.
Maybe, you don't know, do you?
But they say funding for the second tier starts next season.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
season too late for her.
Exactly, yeah. Oh my God.
Which is unfortunately.
I feel like I keep hearing ACLs happening so often.
They are.
Like maybe literally. I tweet about maybe I'm just more aware about it now, but I feel like it's every 2 weeks. Like that
every time,
Brighton Laura Rafferty has done hers.
Every time someone goes down holding a knee, I'm like, oh please don't be ACL, please, or like whatever else.
I feel like it's the 3 most like feared letters. For me it is anyways.
ACL, yeah.
For me it is. I'm just terrified.
Yeah. No.
But it just feels like, even in the men's as well, obviously Leroy Sané did his. Yeah. Someone else has just done theirs, but I can't think what their name is. But I do feel like someone from Spurs has done it a couple of weeks ago.
Did Laporte do it?
No, I think he's done something to his knee, but I don't think it was his ACL.
He's out for like 6 months, isn't he?
Yeah.
But like knee-related injuries seem to happen a lot more often than ever. Maybe that's just because like the sport's evolving.
Could be a study in that.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll get onto Mark.
Dissertation's done for you there.
Done. Maybe it's because like the game's become more athletic, or it's become, I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with the boots.
Do you reckon it's something to do with the pitches as well?
I don't know, but I obviously we know that women are more prone to it because of like anatomy, hip shapes, and like angles going into the knee and stuff like that. But like, I do feel like it's happening more than it maybe happened before.
Yeah.
And I think it's got something to do with the way that football's changing in terms of how people are starting to play it. It's becoming more quicker, more dynamic in the sense that you're moving directions so quickly. Like, if you're stood, stay in the ground and your knee goes the other way, like,
also, it's like, I think the pressure before games as well, like in training each week, sometimes they're doing like two sessions a day.
Yeah.
Like,
it's all about recovery as well.
It's like, why are you doing 2 sessions today? You don't need to do 2 sessions today. Like 1 hour and a half, 2 hour long training session.
Yeah.
To then go into recovery. If you're gonna go in the gym or whatever in the afternoon, do all that. But like, I think it's down to like how players train as well, and obviously recovery. If they're not recovering good enough.
Sometimes it's down to bad luck though, because someone who's got the most strict training regime, nutrition, blah 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 blah, prehab, rehab, all that, could still do it. Because it depends on so many different factors.
Well, look at Jordan Hobbs when she did hers. She literally just went in to challenge Chloe Kelly. It wasn't like a bad tackle from 2 people or off 1 person. She literally just went to try and win the ball off it, and her knee is just gone. It's
so scary, like how it can just happen, and it can be like no fault of your own.
No, literally.
But that's where it kind of comes into play with that she's not just going to have like physical side effects from that. She's going to have mental side effects.
Yeah.
And then who's going to be there to help her out with that if she's got no help whatsoever?
Yeah.
So I feel like she'll be in a quite a lonely place in terms of having to get over that.
She'll be more frustrated than anything, probably, because to have to do it all on your own is hard. NWSL scores there. I had quite a few comments about this, both on the video and on Twitter, saying that like people said they enjoyed it.
They just want to run through the scores each week,
Also, when you were talking about teams, I've put a comment in. Someone said Las Vegas Lights is a men's team.
That's terrible.
That
It
plays,
should be showgirls.
That plays in the United Soccer League, which is the second division.
I mean, thank you for that kind of information, but they should have got me to make up the name because that's terrible. I mean, I get it because like Las Vegas Lights,
yeah.
but it's like Las Vegas
well, Las
Showgirls.
Vegas Showgirls can be the women's
it's
team.
sick, yeah.
Exactly, that's fine. You can still have that. So scores then. So we're going to go from last Thursday's results. So Portland 0, North Carolina Courage 6. I was going to stay up to watch that, and I'm really happy I didn't because it wasn't nice to wake up to on Friday morning. Orlando Pride 0, Chicago Red Stars 1. They were really unlucky. It was like an injury time goal from Red Stars.
Was it Sam Kerr?
No, it was Casey Short.
Okay.
Saturday, Sam Kerr got the assist though. Saturday, Houston Dash 2-1 to Utah Royals, which was a surprising result actually. And then Sunday...
Wait, who won that one?
Houston Dash, look
okay.
at where the 2 is.
I know the way you said it, you said 2-1 to Utah Royals.
Houston Dash 2-1 Utah Royals.
No, you said 2 Utah Royals, so I was like, eh? You definitely said that.
Okay. And then Sunday, North Carolina Courage 6, Orlando Pride 1.
Hell.
Which was that game. Ashton Harris made so many saves. It was unbelievable.
Why are Pride so bad?
I don't know, because they've actually really got some really good players. But like
that MC will be fuming.
Yeah, she's like she starts with them every week as well. She just doesn't do that. She hasn't scored yet for them since she signed.
Oh, heavy.
Yeah. Washington Spirit 2, Rain FC 2, and then Sky Blue 0, Chicago Red Stars 3.
Sam Kerr score.
She did.
Whoa.
She's top scorer. I think she's got like 16 goals.
She just scores for fun, doesn't she?
She does. She's really good. But yeah, that's everything. Oh, news.
News. Well, I only just put this in for a filler, but I feel like we've probably spoken a lot. I'll just quickly skip it.
Yeah.
Doesn't really concern Liverpool, but I thought it's nice to just keep people up to date whether they've not heard it or not. Came out last week. Georgia Stanway's out for 6 weeks with a hamstring injury.
Really sly, though.
That's really
She was
sly.
on good form as well.
She was. Lauren Hemp's also out, so City are down to the bare bones in terms of attacking wise.
Because Ellen White's not back for a couple of weeks yet, is she?
No. Also, Karen Bardsley's still out.
Yeah, she's going to be like December, I think. Maybe even
She had
January.
surgery, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously Chloe Kelly's goals. Also, cool. On BBC website, they've got like obviously a women's football tab, but they show all the goals, like the highlights, and they had like Chloe Kelly's 2 goals. So if you miss out on the goals, obviously it's on the app, but if you go onto the BBC website, it has all of them there as well, which is cool.
Just nice.
And it's like she scored the 2 goals, and like the time in between. Oh my god, yeah. The second, like the time between like the 2 goals was only like 2 minutes 20 seconds.
Yeah.
I was like, go ahead.
Did it finish 2-0 that game?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolute belter of a
Well
goal.
done, Everton.
Well done.
But yeah, that's everything for this week's podcast. We were filming this on a Monday. No, on a Tuesday.
Wow.
It'll go up, but it's going up on a Wednesday. We're also filming the build-up on Thursday for this weekend's game, which will go out Friday morning, so keep an eye out for that. And then obviously we'll have all the post-match content after the game on
And we'll
Sunday.
actually be there.
And we'll be there.
This is my first game of the season.
Yeah, are you excited?
Yeah. Buzzing for the tunnel.
Oh no. But yeah, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Remember to like the video, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you all next week with a new podcast.